Can you win a Stanley Cup here in NHL 24 without any of your players ever shooting the puck? Now, the obvious answer is definitely no, but of course, we all know you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. But what if you had an entire team that was a pass-first team that did not like to shoot the puck? Could that team go on and still win a Stanley Cup here in NHL 24? Well, the good news is we are going to be finding that out here in today's video, as I've thrown together a team full of most of the best playmakers in the entire NHL, and I've changed their tendencies to 100% pass first, 15 out of 15, and we are going to see how many Stanley Cups they can win here in NHL 24, if they can even win one Stanley Cup, but I'm willing to bet they're going to do it. We have some very good players on this team. So here is the roster of the team. On the first line, we have Artemi Panarin, Connor McDavid, and Nikita Kucherov, three of the best playmakers in the entire league. We also have Leon Draisaitl, Nathan MacKinnon, and Mitch Marner, William Nylander, Jack Hughes, and Sid the Kid Crosby. Not so much of a kid anymore. He is 36 years old. And then we do have Connor Bedard, Matthew Barzal, and Patrick Kane to round up our forward core. That is a very good forward core. Now, defensively, we have Roman Josi and Cale Makar, Adam Fox, Quinn Hughes, Miro Heiskanen, and Erik Karlsson. Some of the best puck-moving defensemen in the entire league. And in goal, I stacked our goalies just because I know we will not be shooting the puck a lot. Andrei Vasilevsky is our starter at a 93 overall, and our backup is going to be none other than Jake Ottinger, who is a 91. Now, this team is very good. I'm willing to bet that we win at least one Stanley Cup in this video. So what we're going to do is we are going to simulate 5 full years, see how many Stanley Cups we can win with this roster. If we win none after 5, I will literally keep simulating until we actually get it done. But before we go ahead and simulate, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss a single live stream or video that I put out. Now, I did just recently do a video of no passing in the NHL where I made everybody a shoot first player, and they obviously still racked up a bunch of assists. So I am very curious to see how many players actually rack up a lot of goals. So we are going to go ahead and have a great regular season, going 57, 20, and 5. Good enough for 119 points. And we were not even the best team in our division. That would be the Colorado Avalanche. And of course, we are going to end up finishing 1 and 2 in the entire NHL. No team was really that close, honestly. I mean, Boston had a good season. Carolina, Winnipeg was up there. The Pittsburgh Penguins, who are struggling in real life, they literally just got pounded by the Edmonton Oilers last night. Pittsburgh fans, there are some dark years ahead of you guys, and it's only fair. I mean, it's a circle of life. After being good for so long, eventually you're going to fall off a cliff, just like Chicago did. San Jose is going to be the worst team in the NHL, only winning 28 games. Nikita Kucherov is going to end up leading our team in goals with 37 and points with 90, so 37 goals with a 15 out of 15 shooting / pass bias. McDavid had 35 goals and 85 points. Cale Makar had 79. Breadman was up there with 78. Draisaitl 71. Crosby did his thing. He scored 37 goals as well, tying Kucherov for the most on our team. Mitch Marner had 59. He was a -3 though. Jack Hughes only 47 and 18 goals. Let me take a look at the shots here. Nikita Kucherov is going to lead with 266. That is a lot of shots actually for a guy that should not be shooting whatsoever. McDavid had 257. Breadman 242. Cale Makar 242. And our goalies, what did Vasi do? 33, 12, and 2, 4 shutouts, and not very great stats. We already know. Goaltenders do not simulate very well in this game whatsoever. For the entire NHL, your mom's a hoe is going to lead in scoring with 107 points, followed by Mikko Rantanen's 98. Because Zibanejad had 97. Nathan MacKinnon was up there. Dylan Larkin. Philip Forsberg had 93. Austin Matthews had 92, as well as Svechnikov. Now, for the goal side, I believe Matthews is going to lead with 67 on the season, followed by Mikko Rantanen, 63. Evgeny Malkin had 52, passed to 52. Svechnikov was up there with 51. Meanwhile, Connor Hellebuck is going to lead all goalies in wins with 44, followed by Tristan Jarry's 40, and UC Saros also having 40. And on the shutout side, obviously Vasi's not going to be anywhere close, but Stuart Skinner is going to lead with 7 on the season. The first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Winnipeg Jets, who are a pretty tough team. I mean, if Connor Hellebuck can get hot, that can cause a lot of problems for us, but hopefully that does not happen. This team should be able to win at least one Stanley Cup in this video, and absolutely no surprise here, as we have made the Stanley Cup Finals in our very first season. Now up against the Boston Bruins, who do have a very good team, at least on paper. So let's see if this is a tough challenge, and if we can go on and win the Stanley Cup for the very first time in our franchise's history. And just like that, we are going to get it done in our very first season, taking home that Stanley Cup as we defeat Boston in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. It was really not even that close. I mean, in Game 5, they did beat us pretty bad, 5-1 or 5-2 maybe. but we had control over the entire series most of the way. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I did expect this team to win a Stanley Cup. That's why we're only going to do 5 years, and we'll see how many that we can get. I mean, we could easily go 5 for 5. This is a very good roster. Nikita Kucherov is going to take home the Conn Smythe, 15 goals and 33 points, and we are basically proving that the shoot pass bias setting in attributes literally doesn't mean that much, because players don't play that differently regardless of if you change them or not. And there is the Stanley Cup being raised in Boston, but not for the Bruins, instead for, I think it was the Alaska Passers was the name of the team. I don't even know, but rate the jerseys, boys. I forgot to ask you guys 1 to 10 in the comments below, as we are witnessing history. Connor McDavid lifting the Stanley Cup for the very first time in his career, as we have gone all the way here in year number 1. Also, our home jerseys are a lot better than our away jerseys, so now obviously Kucherov is going to lead our team in goals and points for the playoffs with 15 and 33, followed by Artemi Panarin, who had 27 points. McDavid had 22, only 5 goals. Leon Draisaitl had 20 points. Mitch Marner was up there at 18. Crosby had 16. Again, Artemi Panarin and Nikita Kucherov, despite the fact that they are both listed as playmakers and they do not want to shoot, are still going to rack up 15 and 14 goals in the playoff run. And there it is, the Alaska Passers are Stanley Cup champions here in NHL 24. Rate the logo too, boys. I think it's pretty hilarious. I mean, I don't know why the horse is staring at me like that, though. Sebastian Aho is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy, while Matthews is going to win the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Cale Makar. Obviously, the Conn Smythe will go to Kucherov. Connor Hellebuck is going to take home the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Anze Kopitar of the LA Kings. All right, so here we go in season number 2, and for some reason, Patrick Kane has decided to go and sign with another team in the offseason. He did not return. So instead, we got Colton Dach on the team, 76 overall, which should hinder us a little bit. Now, at the end of the second season, we are actually going to finish with a better record, going 60, 19, and 3, 123 points. Obviously, the top of our division and the top of the entire league, followed by the Florida Panthers, who did win 58 games. Detroit was up there with 54 wins. The Rangers were good. Ottawa was surprisingly very good as well, as they went 52, 25, and 5. That is definitely not the case in real life. Now, at the bottom, we do have the San Jose Sharks, the Vegas Golden Knights, who have fallen off a cliff. Connor McDavid is going to lead our team in goals with 33 and points with 93, followed by Cale Makar, who had 83 points and 28 goals. Panarin had 82, Kucherov 81, Draisaitl had 70, Mitch Marner had 62. Again, I don't know why he's the only minus player here. He was a minus 10. Sidney Crosby had 54 points, Jack Hughes 53. Now for Alexander, or Andre Vasilevsky, I should say, he went 37 and 3, 4 shutouts, a 917 save percentage. Pretty good stats overall. They basically split the games. Otter actually played more, 5 more. Adam Fox is actually going to go ahead and lead the entire NHL in scoring with 103 points, followed by David Pasternak's 99. Mika Zibanejad had 97. Dylan Larkin was up there. Alex DeBrincat had a good season. Trevor Zegras had a very good year himself with 93 points on the season. Now for the goal side, Matthews again is going to score 67 goals, followed by Zibanejad, who had 54. Rantanen's 53. Stammer had 51, his first 50-goal season in a very long time. Probably since like 2012, I'd say. The last time he scored 50, and it was 60 goals in 82 games. Evgeny Malkin at 48, Pasternak 48, and DeBrincat 47. Now for goalie, Spencer Knight is going to lead in wins with 45, and on the shutout side, it's going to go to Jonas Korpisalo, who had 10 on the season. Wow, Ottawa Senators fans are literally dying at this image right now. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Calgary Flames, who should be a very easy matchup here in round number 1, and we should basically breeze through to the Stanley Cup Finals, go back-to-back, and keep on winning, baby. And we are back in the Stanley Cup Finals for a second straight season, this time up against the New Jersey Devils, who of course do have Jack Hughes, but we have Jack Hughes ourselves. We obviously are the favorites. So let's see if we can go on and go back-to-back to start the video, winning our second straight Stanley Cup. And the Alaska Passers are going to go back-to-back, this time dominating New Jersey in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. And we finally, well, not finally, but we do get to win a Stanley Cup on home ice. We didn't get to do that last season. I don't know why Leon Draisaitl is wearing the number 2, but I guess it is what it is. We get to raise the cup here on home ice as we dominate the Devils in the Stanley Cup Finals, just like we should. I mean, we have a much better team. For the Conn Smythe, Cale Makar is going to take it. 7 goals and 31 points for him. His second Conn Smythe of his career. That is how decorated this guy is. He's going to go down as one of the best defenders of all time, at least by the end of his career. And there it is, the Stanley Cup being raised in Alaska, which is a very weird spot for the Stanley Cup to be in, but nonetheless, here we go. Captain Connor McDavid coming to lift it yet again, as we have gone all the way for the second straight time, and now we look for the three-peat, baby. Cale Makar is going to lead our team in scoring for the playoffs with 31 on the playoff run, followed by Artemi Panarin, who did have 15 goals and 30 points. Nikita Kucherov at 29, McDavid 26, Crosby 24 and 12 goals, Draisaitl had 20, and now the Alaska Passers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Adam Fox is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross Hart Trophy, and the Norris, while the Maurice Richard will go to Matthews. Obviously, the Conn Smythe will go to Cale Makar. Spencer Knight is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Robert Thomas. So, luckily, heading into season number 3, we have not lost any more players on our team. Here's the overalls for our forward core. Defensively, here is the overalls. We're very good everywhere. And in goal, I would like to starting Jake Ottinger over Vasi, because Vasi is 31 years old, but he's still 4 overalls higher. Again, we are going to go ahead and have a great regular season this time, going 57, 19, and 6. Good enough for 120 points at the top of our division and the top of the entire NHL, followed by the Florida Panthers. Carolina was up there. Nashville was pretty good. And of course, the Colorado Avalanche are always dangerous. At the bottom, we have the Anaheim Ducks, Washington Capitals, and Columbus Blue Jackets, who have still yet to retool and make the playoffs for multiple seasons. Just an absolute waste of a franchise. Outside of that one time that they did beat Tampa Bay in the first round. Now for our team, Connor McDavid is going to lead with 40 goals and 102 points, followed by Artemi Panarin's 98. Kucherov had 92. Mitch Marner was up there with 73. Finally, he's not a minus player. He was a plus 31. Draisaitl had 72. Cale Makar was up there, but Bedard was pretty good. I mean, only 17 goals and 53 points. He is only playing like third line minutes. And in goal, Vasi is pretty much going to be our starter, going 38, 11, and 4, 2 shutouts, and pretty mid stats, honestly, at least for his standards. McDavid is going to end up leading the entire NHL in scoring with 102, followed by Tage Thompson's 101 and Mikko Rantanen, who had 100. Jeff Skinner had 99. Joe Pavelski was up there with 96. Kaprizov had a good season, as well as Elias Pettersson. Now on the goal side, Rantanen is going to lead with 61 on the season, followed by Matthews 56. Ovi had 53 at age 40. Vinoged had 51. Pasternak 50, and Jeff Skinner 48. Spencer Knight is going to lead in wins with 45, and for shutouts, it's going to go to Jake Ottinger, not our Jake Ottinger, but the Dallas Stars version. In the first round, we are up against the Arizona Coyotes, so that should be an easy dub. And we absolutely breezed through the Western Conference. I mean, not really. We went to 3 Game 7s, which is crazy how we won all of them. But we are up against the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals, so let's see if we can go on and win our 3rd straight, 3-peating to start the video, or is Florida going to ruin that? And surprisingly, the Florida Panthers are going to dominate us in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals, which means not only are we not going to end up 3-peating, but we're not going to go 5 for 5 for the entire video. Now for the playoffs, Nikita Kucherov is going to lead with 30 points, only 9 goals, but that's okay. I mean, I wasn't expecting a lot of people to put up a lot of goals in this simulation. Breadman had 28, McDavid 27, Draisaitl 17, and he was a -3. Tage Thompson is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy, while the Art Ross to McDavid and Maurice Richard to Mikko Rantanen. Adam Fox is going to win the Norris. The Conn Smythe will go to Matthew Tkachuk. Jake Ottinger, not our Jake Ottinger, but the Dallas Stars one, is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Ryan O'Reilly. Again, we are pretty much rocking with the same exact team as the entire video, outside of Patrick Kane, who did leave in year number 1's offseason. So at the end of year number 4, the Alaska Passers are going to have another great regular season, going 60, 16, and 6, good enough for 126 points, the best in our division, of course, and the best in the entire NHL. We've been that now for the past like 3 years, I'd say. Colorado was up there with 53 wins. Florida was good. Montreal, of course, Florida did beat us in the Stanley Cup Finals last season, so that is definitely a matchup I want back. Dallas is up there. The Rangers, Vancouver at the bottom. We have the Calgary Flames. Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are going to tie for the most points on our team with 102. McDavid did have the most goals, or tied for the most goals with 43, alongside Nikita Kucherov, who also had 43 and 100 points. Jack Hughes had 72. Cale Makar 58. Breadman had 57. And Mitch Marner, again, is a minus player. He's a -10 on the season. Vasi is going to be our starter, going 41, 12, and 5. 5 shutouts and pretty okay stats overall. Austin Matthews going to lead the NHL in scoring with 110 points, and he'd also lead in goals with 70. On the point side, Reinhart had 105, McDavid 102, Draisaitl 102, and Nikita Kucherov 100. Now on the goal side, other than Matthews, Zibanejad had the most at 58, followed by Patrick Laine's 51, and Mikko Rantanen, who had 49. Spencer Knight again is going to lead all goalies and wins, this time with 47. And for shutouts, it's going to be Connor Ingram tying with Andrei Vasilevsky, who had 6 on the season. So finally, Vasi had a good season. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Nashville Predators. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, we are up against the Ottawa Senators, who overall don't have the greatest team, but Jonas Korpisalo is definitely a wild card. So let's see if we can go on and win our 3rd Stanley Cup of the video. 3 in 4 seasons. Let's see if we can do it. And we are going to get the job done here in season number 4 as we absolutely destroy the Senators in 5 games in the finals. It was not even remotely close. We were by far the better team, and I mean on paper we are by far the better team as well. It should not even be a close series, and it was not so good on us. I'm kind of pissed about last season losing to Florida. We could have just won our 4th in a row, but instead we're basically starting over our first Stanley Cup now, as Leon Draisaitl is going to take home the Conn Smythe, 7 goals and 28 points for him. As luckily for us, the Stanley Cup is again going to be raised on home ice here in Alaska for the Passers, the greatest playmakers in the world today, as they are going to win their 3rd Stanley Cup in 4 seasons. Here is McDavid yet again lifting that Stanley Cup, and now we got to go for 4 and 5 as we only have 1 season left of the video. Let's see if we can do that. Leon Draisaitl is going to end up leading our team in scoring for the playoffs with 28 points, followed by Mitch Marner, who had a big playoff run, 6 goals and 22 points. Kucherov had 21, Breadman 20, McDavid 19 and 10 goals. Sam Reinhart is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy, while the Art Ross and Maurice Richard will go to Matthews, the Norris to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Leon Draisaitl, whereas Lincolns is going to take home the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Robert Thomas yet again. Now for the 5th and final season, the Alaska Passers are going to finish 1st in the Central, going 57, 18, and 7, 121 points. And we would also be the best team in the entire NHL, like we have pretty much every season besides, I believe, the first year. Carolina was up here with 52 wins. New York had 51. Colorado had 50. New Jersey 47. Connor McDavid is going to lead our team in goals with 41 and points with 91. Actually, he was tied with Leon Draisaitl, also having 91 points. Kucherov had 90. Jack Hughes 81. Mitch Marner had 72. Nylander had 72. I've not seen this guy the entire video, but he's finally picked up his play, 24 goals and 72 points. Meanwhile, Vasi is going to go 38, 12, and 3, 1 shutout, and not really the greatest stats in the world, honestly. Kirill Kaprizov is going to lead the entire NHL in scoring with 121 points, followed by your mom's Aho, Sebastian Aho. He had 112. Stefans had 110. Beniers had 103. Fiala 101. Ovi had 100. This dude is 42 years old, still putting up 58 goals and 100 points. That's insane. Now, speaking of goals, Austin Matthews is going to lead with 59 on the season, followed by Ovi's 58. Rantanen had 54, Svechnikov 53, Pasta had 52, and this guy had 50. Bryce Arcobello. Aiden Hill is going to lead all goalies and wins with 45, and for shutouts, it's going to go to Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who had 9. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are up against the Anaheim Ducks, and somehow we are going to end up losing in the second round in Game 7 to the Colorado Avalanche, as the Detroit Red Wings will go on and defeat the Vancouver Canucks to win their very first Stanley Cup since, I believe, 2008. In the playoffs, Mitch Marner was our best player, 4 goals and 18 points, followed by Kucherov, who had 13, McDavid had 12, Nylander 11, and Adam Fox 11. Kirill Kaprizov is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews will take home that Maurice Richard. The Norris to Adam Fox. The Conn Smythe will go to Alex DeBrincat. Thatcher Demko is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Tim Stützle of the Ottawa Senators. And that is going to do it for this video, boys. We have gone ahead and made a team full of playmakers that never want to shoot the puck, see if they can go on and win a Stanley Cup. And well, they did it in literally season number 1. And I was hoping for 5 straight, but we ended up only getting 3 out of 5 seasons. We lost in year number 3 and year number 5. So I guess mission accomplished pretty much. The main thing I take away from this is that the shoot pass meter doesn't really mean a single thing in NHL 24. It doesn't change the outcome of the stats that much. Regardless, let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.